The idea of work-life balance is complete bullshit. This video is for people that know they can do better, but maybe just need a little wake-up call. I got my real estate license like 5 years ago, thinking it was a joke, just like a stepping stone to make a few dollars while I figured out my life. And then fast forward a few years later, I was actually the #2 ranked agent in the world, and now I'm a multimillionaire. That whole concept of balancing out your life. So you work a little bit and you play a little bit. Nobody is gonna do that and make millions of dollars unless you're working a 9-to-5 job for 30 years and then you save enough money to finally retire one day. That is not the life that I wanted to live. You see these TikTokers making these videos saying that they can work 4 hours a day and they can make millions of dollars. But what you don't see is all the hard work that they had to put in to get to that point. Yes, maybe one day you can work 4 hours a day, but that's not gonna be for 5 or 10 years of 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. When I was in my 20s, I was just doing the bare minimum. Yeah, I was making a decent living, but nothing that was gonna set me up for life. Now I am set up for life, and it really only took me 5 years of extreme hard work to do it. So it's not like you have to grind for 20 years. Unless you do the 9-to-5 route, then you kind of do have to grind for 20 years. And doing that, you're never gonna build something that's truly your own. So you're gonna be putting in all that effort and hard work for somebody else. So you might as well start your own business if you want to become successful. And that's a big if, because some people have different dreams. Not everybody wants to retire when they're 40 years old. Some people are okay with doing the normal 5 days a week. I was not okay with that. If you're okay with that, you can click off the video right now. But if you want something more for your life, because yes, money does make you happy. Trust me, I've had a point in my life where I had no money, and now I'm at a point where I have a lot of money. I am significantly happier now. Here's the thing though, it's not really happiness that money buys you. It's peace of mind. It's freedom. It's knowing that you can pay your rent, you can go to the grocery store, and you can buy anything that you want. You don't have to worry about taking trips or vacations. I mean, I could literally hop on a plane and travel to France if I want to. I'm not even trying to brag. I'm just saying this actually makes me feel better, and I can sleep really well at night. I can wake up in the morning not having, panic attacks and waking up in a pile of my own sweat because I know what I'm doing now. I know what I'm capable of. So even if I were to lose everything today, I know for a fact I can do it all over again. And that makes you feel really good. The confidence that you get from achieving something great. It's not even about the money. The money is the byproduct of doing something excellent for an extended period of time. And yes, with the money that you make from it, you can live a life that other people dream of. But if you think you're gonna work a normal 8-hour day, Monday through Friday, and do whatever the heck you want on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, you are sorely mistaken, because that's never gonna fly. I'll even give an example. For my first year in real estate, I thought that was how it worked. I was an entrepreneur, right? Real estate agent, kind of a jokey career. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning and I'm gonna do an hour or two of work. I'm gonna, go hang out with a buddy or maybe play some tennis, take a 2-hour lunch break. Then I'm gonna work for a couple hours more, and then I'll go eat dinner, and then maybe 1 more hour of work, and that's it, I'm done for the day, right? I'm working 5 hours a day because I was my own boss and because that's how I thought it worked. I didn't make that much money my first year. I realized, wait a second, there is nobody telling me what to do. I don't have to punch out in a clock. And if I don't hold myself accountable, nobody else will. So my bank account was steadily going down. I wanted it to go up. So the next year in real estate, I ended up working about 12 hours a day. I was like, screw this. I'm gonna actually try this year. I just wanna see what's possible, what's gonna happen. Ended up making $250,000. Being in a brand new industry for just 1 year. Most people think of realtors as a joke. I mean, you take a 63-hour course and you get your license. Most agents that I talk to, they don't know their left foot from their right foot, and it shows because they hardly close any deals. So if you have any kind of competence at all, you could do any career very well. There's one guiding principle that will make you successful, and that's hard work. Here's the thing. Distractions are gonna slow you down. If you want to truly accomplish something great and you want to work hard to do it, you actually have to put in the hours, and the hours that matter. If you're scrolling on TikTok, or if you're looking out the window when you're in the middle of doing any kind of task whatsoever, maybe a bird flies by and it just catches you off guard for just a second, you're gonna get out of the zone. And you do not do your best work unless you're in the zone. That means you're being efficient with your time. They say on average, it takes 27 minutes to get back into the zone, once you lose that focus. So it doesn't matter what you have to do. If you have to put on headphones, if you have to go into a dark room. Me personally, I can work in any kind of environment as long as I'm really concentrating and I don't let anybody else get in my way. So if somebody calls me or texts me, I just ignore all of that. I don't look at my emails. I don't let anybody come in and interrupt me. And if they do, I just tell them, hey, give me a sec. Very, very quickly so I can stay in the zone, because an hour of my time might be a lot different than an hour of your time if I'm focusing and doing what I need to do and you're not. So you better get really comfortable spending the next 5 to 10 years working so hard that you are going to lose relationships. Which means if you have a partner, I don't care if you're a man or a woman, if you have a partner that is just holding you back, that doesn't understand the journey that you're going to go on, you have to get rid of them. I'm sorry, but entrepreneurship, running your own business is not for everybody. I was blessed. I got very fortunate to meet my current wife right now, and she encouraged me. In the very beginning, she was actually working a lot harder than me. She was kind of my muse. She was the one that inspired me to start working harder. And when I did, I actually started outworking her. She was making, a couple $100,000 a year when I met her as a 23-year-old girl, which made me feel like a complete fool. Think about it. I was a 30-year-old guy and I was working this career that everybody thought was a joke. And this 23-year-old girl from the middle of nowhere in Iowa was outworking me, out-earning me, and outsmarting me. I needed to do something different, and that's when I started grinding. That's when I figured out there is no such thing as work-life balance. Nobody that wants to be successful is gonna tell you you can only work a normal 8-hour day and you can work 5 days a week. Nobody will tell you that, especially if it's from one of your family members or a friend of yours, because a lot of these people, they don't want you to succeed for 2 reasons. One, they're kind of jealous. They're gonna be seeing you excelling in some kind of journey that they've always wanted to do themselves. And if you fail on this journey, they're also gonna feel like they're partly to blame for it if they didn't try to talk you out of it. So even if they're not trying to do it maliciously, you have to be very careful with the relationships and the people that you spend your time with, especially your partner. There is nothing worse than coming home from a 12-hour day to have your partner and screaming and yelling at you. Where were you all day? Why didn't you answer my text messages? Why didn't you answer my phone? I called you 7 times. I had dinner here waiting for you. That is just gonna annoy you. It's gonna set you back. It's gonna put you in a bad mood. That is not conductive to getting work done. That's not about making money. That's about living a life where you're trying to appease other people that don't have the same vision and dream as yours. It's okay if you're in a relationship that isn't working out. Sometimes it just means that the other person isn't right for you. That's fine, but you have to pick the right partner if you're gonna be gone for 5 to 10 years. And obviously you're gonna be seeing them sometimes, but just not as much as a normal relationship. They have to understand that. So when you're getting into a new situation like that, you have to make sure they're on board with your vision. If they're not, get rid of them immediately. I'm sure you heard the saying, health is wealth. That is very true. I mean, look at this. I have some muscles over here. I don't go overboard, right? I can't spend 2 or 3 hours in the gym like I used to when I was younger. I had this crazy 6-pack and I was fit as hell. That was a little bit too much, but I do firmly believe you have to feel good about yourself. And if you look good, you're gonna feel good, especially what you put in your body, right? If you're eating garbage, if you're eating sugary, processed junk stuff, it's not gonna help you perform like you need to during the day. And that's when you're gonna be doing your best work, is during the daytime. So if you eat like garbage at night and you go to bed, wake up feeling sluggish, it's not gonna be great for your next morning. You're gonna start it off on the wrong foot. So you do have to make sure that you're taking care of your body. And also, making a lot of money means absolutely nothing if you don't have your health. I do intermittent fasting, so I don't eat breakfast and I definitely don't eat lunch, because think about it. If you have like a pizza for lunch or a giant sandwich, what happens for the next 1 or 2 hours right after that? You get lethargic, you get really sluggish, and it starts holding you back. You're not gonna do your best work. So I don't eat for the first like 16 hours of the day. I have a small 8-hour window where I'm gonna eat food, and that basically starts at 6 o'clock at night and goes to around 10 o'clock at night, give or take, unless I'm going to bed early. So if I'm going to bed early, I am not eating anything within 3 hours of whenever my head hits that pillow. There's science behind that, because if you're trying to digest your food when you're sleeping, you're not going to use that energy to restore your body. And that matters, because you're going to feel a lot more tired the next day. I wanted to make this video for people that were like me, but 10 years ago, that needed to hear something like this. Because if somebody had told me this earlier on, I would be way further ahead in life. I wasted so much time and there was no reason for it. I had the potential in me, but I just didn't bring it out.